This video was completely edited by Claude. There's no editing software, no CapCut, Premiere Pro. I was able to trim all the empty spaces in this video and was able to add custom motion graphics without having me to manually prompt it. In this video, let's find out how we can improve our workflow using Claude, Hyperframes, Whisper, and a bunch of other tools. So keep watching to find out. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Like you just saw in the intro, today we are going to show you how to edit videos with Claude Code completely autonomously. I've watched other tutorials of other YouTubers that have done similar things, have Claude Code edit their videos. But honestly, when I used their techniques, it was too much hand-holding for Claude. I wanted something that was leaps and bounds better than what other content creators have put out. When I created that intro video, all I gave to Claude was essentially this raw file, which I'll play here. This video was completely edited by Claude. There's no editing software, no CapCut, no Premiere Pro. I think you get the point, but there was a lot of like empty space, some repetitive portions. All I did was give Claude Code that exact video, say, trim it, add motion graphics, and it gave me this, which is a Hyperframes creation of what you just saw in the intro. All these motion graphics that you see, so the editor.claude, this like Xing out of existing software, even this export stuff, I did not explicitly tell it, Claude Code, to make these motion graphics. And that's why I think that this particular repo that it created is so powerful. And so today, we're going to explore how I got it to such a good state. Here's the architecture of what exactly is happening behind the scenes. So what happens is that we provide Claude with a raw MP4 or movie file. It will then start to encode it, get the MP4, and then we will transcribe it. So there's several options for transcription. You can do either Claude itself, OpenAI's Whisper, which is a little bit better than Claude. And then if you want to step up from OpenAI, I would recommend ElevenLabs. And the reason why you should probably use ElevenLabs over Claude Code is because they give you more exact time frames on when you said stuff, 3 decimal places. During the one clip that I gave it in the intro, from 3.179 seconds to 3.539 seconds, I said the word edited. And that's why paying for this transcription is probably worth it. It's also like very cheap. It's probably 10 cents to transcribe a whole video. Having these exact time frames is important because it can help you match the motion graphics way more accurately than if you were to have a much wider time frame like you'll have with Whisper or any other generic transcription. So once you transcribe it, we then also apply this rad.redefine MJS. So I didn't know what VAD was before, but essentially it just makes sure that your voice is active when going over a certain video. And so why this is good is that sometimes the transcription will have its own kind of algorithm to, get rid of background noise. Sometimes it won't fully understand like mumbled words. The VAD redefine will make sure that the cuts are a lot sharper than they should be. And so one example is this here, which is take 4. So I made several takes. I basically ran this iteratively, one with just the transcription, cutting it. And I won't play the whole video. You can see that the original clip was 54 seconds of me just like blabbering, doing repeat words. So today's video, let's explore. With transcribing it and cutting it, it then took it to 29 seconds. And then from there, I did the VAD, which trimmed it another 5 seconds. Claude Code to edit my videos for me. And then ultimately we land at 23 seconds. Hello everyone, my name is... You can see that the tools that we add on top of just transcription will slowly iterate to get that video as punchy and as accurate as possible. So that's that step. And then we have this refine.json, which cuts it even more. So cuts, speed, ranges, and breaths. And then we will run a separate kind of service or like process where we will try to strip the retakes. When we went to that take 4 that we saw. So in today's video, so I said so today twice. And so I wanted to remove that without explicitly telling Claude to remove it for me. So it ran the strip retakes.mjs, and then it removed what needed to get removed, and then made this second cut. I'll do everything for you. So in today's video, let's explore how. So in that particular iteration, I no longer say in today twice. It's only once said. So once that happens, then we will start adding motion graphics to it, which is proposed beats. We read from motion vocabulary and motion philosophy, which we'll get into later. And then we also have our design.md, which kind of creates what motion graphics we want to create based on your branding. And then lastly, we'll essentially create the beats, create the Hyperframes HTML for those particular beats. We'll have Hyperframes render it. And then ultimately we will get the final results, the Hyperframes video with the motion graphics. Overall, this architecture is quite involved, but let's actually discuss this portion of the architecture, which is the creation of the motion graphics, as well as these 3 particular MD files, motion vocabulary, motion philosophy, and design MD. So first off, we'll start off with design MD because I feel like it's the most straightforward. Design MD is essentially just a source of truth that we can go to create particular color schemes or font that we want to create based on your branding. If you go to my YouTube channel, and so you can see that my channel is kind of black and gold. And so I just wanted to reflect that by using those same colors. And if you can see here, my primary canvas is espresso. My borders is whatever this hex color is. Primary highlight is this. But essentially, what was created in the end result was either black or yellow. This text is yellow. This is black and black with a yellow outline. And you can see that this gets repeated throughout the video because of my design.md. So that covers the design.md file. Now let's talk about motion philosophy and vocabulary, which really helps automate pretty much 90% of the motion graphics. So like I was saying before, a lot of tutorials on this motion graphics will basically tell you to explicitly tell Claude what to create in terms of motion graphics, but I wanted to take that one step further and have Claude essentially do that for me. So first, let's talk about the motion philosophy. While iterating through Claude, it essentially created 11 laws for itself. So 1 idea per beat, cut it really fast. Black is the canvas, light is the brand, not color. Camera never sleeps. Even on still frames, the grid recedes, the coin rotates, particles drift. 1 unifying texture across everything, timelines must fill their slots, and so on and so forth. So then it has examples of what it can create. Here are some of the backgrounds it can create. So sparkle particles, conical light beams. If you go through the intro itself, you probably didn't notice a lot of that stuff, but it is happening in the background. So if we go back to Hyperframes, you can see that there are little lights right here, and you can see that it happens throughout the entire video. Next itself is the type system. This kind of goes hand in hand with the design.md, but essentially like this acts as the library that helps create some of the motion graphics in Hyperframes. So these are just the guide rails that Hyperframes can reference to see how to generate something. And then here's also transitions, so you can see all the transition variations that are possible, light streak, cinematic zoom. I actually didn't have too many transitions for this particular intro. And again, a lot of this is Claude ideated. I'm not telling Claude to explicitly transition. I am just letting it deal with everything. And we're just giving the tools for it to make that judgment in real time. Again, there's more stuff, anti-pattern stuff it shouldn't do. But overall, you can check out what exactly is in this MD file in my school community in the link below. So that was the motion philosophy, but the bulk of the brains come from this motion vocabulary. And so what was happening before I was doing this was that when I was making these other takes, when I gave Claude the ability to make motion graphics, a lot of the times it was giving some really basic stuff. It was popping up words here and there, and no motion was actually happening. It was just essentially just replicating what I said in the video on screen. And so I think the point of a whole motion graphics library is to induce motion graphics. It's not to pop up text, because I can do that myself. I want AI to essentially make these beautiful motion graphics for me because I don't want to invest the time into that. I think one big powerful thing came from this motion vocabulary. So first, I gave it 3 reference compositions to study. If you actually go to the Hyperframes guide itself, if you go to the catalog, you can see all the different type of motion graphics that I would deem as pretty professional looking. So like this Instagram follow, Mac OS notification, Reddit postcard. Essentially, there are a bunch of motion graphics that you can see here that can be used as references for your MD file. And so I really started to utilize the showcase to basically tell Claude, hey, I really want to create motion graphics that look like this and not some basic text on the screen. You can also see this money Apple count, blue sweater intro video, looks really strong. Like all of these are really professional, in my opinion, motion graphics that take a long time to produce. And so I wanted Claude to produce something of this high quality rather than just some text popping on the screen. I gave those showcases as examples of what I really wanted Claude to do. And so then it started to really start to build a vocabulary of what gets shown on the screen. So numeric counters will not just provide a number on the screen, but it will look something like the Apple money count. That looks very nice. Same thing with burst particle. It will add burst particles to most things. It will make things in motion, not static. Subtle scene zoom, radial pulse. And I think this is what's most impactful. So essentially when I say show me a number or show a list of things, it will basically forbid bulleted text or pills, but instead will create beautiful mock-ups with motion graphics instead of a static, boring list. You can read through all these, but essentially if I want to continue with expanding this repo, which I will do internally, I am going to try to list out every single variation that I can think of. And then from there, essentially guide Claude to create a motion graphic for me instead of a simplistic solution that it will use most of the time. The motion vocabulary was a huge unlock for me. Lastly, how does this all work together? If you want to do the exact same thing for your videos, what do you need to do? And all you need to do is download this repo and start talking to Claude. So for me, I would basically just say, hey, I have a new raw video. Let's trim with ElevenLabs because I want to be explicit with that. Add motion graphics. And that is literally it. And then just provide it with movie or MP4 that you have on your desktop. And that is it. It will literally start to do everything for you. If we quickly want to touch upon pricing, it's very cheap to run something like this. For the video that I had, which was a 1-minute raw video, trimmed into 23 seconds and then had motion graphics added onto that. The only thing that we're really paying for is the transcription via ElevenLabs. In total, ElevenLabs Scribe costs 5 cents. Strip retakes cost 1 cent. Proposed beats, which uses Sonnet, cost 13 cents. So in total, to edit a video like this cost me 20 cents, which is definitely worth it. If you're making just the intro yourself with those custom graphics, that would take more than an hour plus, especially with those custom graphics. And this just cost me 20 cents. With that being said, feel free to clone my repo in the description below. Make sure to join the school community. And let me know if you have any questions either in the comments or in my school community. I'll be happy to answer them. Hope you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.